welcome to Comcast Local Edition. I'm Amy Allison. Today's guest is Terry Healey, who survived cancer at a young age and went on to be an author of a book that's out this January at face value, and also a motivational speaker. Welcome.
Thank you.
You were dealt with cancer at a young age, 20.
Yep.
And lived to tell about it and to teach others.
To tell the story, yeah, I was very lucky. I was actually probably at that age when you're not completely aware of everything that's happening around you and the seriousness of an illness. So in that way I was kind of lucky, but it was also at a time when at an age of 20 you're very concerned about your appearance, and my particular cancer attacked my face. So it was a difficult ordeal that took many years to overcome in terms of the cancer treatment as well as the follow-on reconstructive surgery.
Well, the book that you've written, At Face Value, is about your experiences. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I wrote a book. I actually started writing the book probably in the early 90s, which was many years after the final treatment, which the cancer treatment went through about 1985, and the reconstruction probably through about 91. And it was really in talking to other cancer patients who were very inspired by the story, who felt like I had a story that I needed to tell to help other people. And that was really how it began. And I really wrote it with that in mind, which I think was the right way to write it. So I was really telling my story. I wasn't trying to write a book that wasn't my story. And so it was a very cathartic experience, and I learned a lot about myself as I wrote the book, and it opened up many, many doors for me in terms of becoming a motivational speaker. You know, the funny thing is, if you would ask me 15 years ago if I ever wanted to present in front of a group of people, I would have told you no way, because of what had happened to me. I was very insecure, actually, about the way I looked. So it forced me to really face a lot of my challenges head on and really work at becoming better at a lot of things.
So before you became a professional motivational speaker, you were already motivating and supporting and inspiring other cancer patients.
Yeah.
Now, what did they share with you as the most inspirational things about your own story and experience?
Well, I think one of the things that stuck out for me was a lot of people were coming into the wellness community where I was speaking to a lot of cancer patients in terms of interacting with them in groups, and they were really worried about the aftermath of chemotherapy, the fact that they would lose their hair, very insecure about their change in appearance. Interestingly, a lot of people were very concerned about those things as opposed to necessarily talking about the illness itself or how much time they're going to have to go through it. And what I think a lot of people learned in talking to me was I was wearing this on my face every day, and if I could deal with that and be confident with who I was, this short-term thing about losing your hair shouldn't be that serious, and that's just a minor piece in the puzzle of getting through the treatment. And so that was one thing that always stuck out for me, actually.
It's probably also very inspiring, gives a lot of hope to people dealing with and confronting cancer, that they can go on to live a very successful life.
Yeah, I mean, my particular cancer was actually very serious. What I had was very rare, so a lot of doctors didn't know how to treat it, and the treatment plan was highly risky in terms of the success rate. So, yeah, I mean, I think the fact that I survived something that had very little historical sort of precedence was pretty monumental. And so, being able to share a story about a rare type of cancer that, in fact, impacted my face, I think a lot of people felt like it was something that could apply to anybody in any way, shape, or form who had cancer or any other kind of crisis and impact them.
So you're traveling around promoting your book and speaking to audiences now?
I am. In fact, next week I speak to a Cisco sales force back in Massachusetts. And so I do a lot of motivational speaking, talking, really doing a lot of storytelling, just sharing pieces of my story and trying to apply the lessons I learned to people in the workforce or into their daily lives. So
what would you say is the most important lesson that you could share with someone briefly?
Well, I would say that there's a number of lessons depending upon who I'm talking to. To me, the most important one is that we all have to be less judgmental.
Well, on that note, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Good luck with promoting your book.
Thank you very much.
Our guest has been Terry Healey, who survived cancer as a young man and went on to write the book out this year, At Face Value. This is Comcast Local Edition. I'm Amy Allison. Thanks for joining us.